ويهي bayom hathalithi, and it was in the third day, Watilabash Esther Malakut, and Esther put on for the kingdom, clothed for the kingdom. Wata'amod Bahathar Bet Hamelech, and she stood in the court of the house of the court of the house of the king, Hapanimith, the inner court, Nokah Bet Hamelech, before the house of the king. Wahamelech Yotheb Alakisse Malakuto, and the king was sitting upon the throne of his kingdom. Bebet Hamalakut Nokah Petah Habayit, in the house of the kingdom, before the door of the house. ويحيى كرهوت هملكة استر هملكة عمدت بحثر ناشها حن بعينه. And it was, as the king, seeing Esther the queen standing in the court, she lifted favor in his eyes. ويوشت هملك لهستر الشربيت Hadahab, and the king extended to Esther the scepter of gold, the scepter of the gold Atarabiyado, which was in his hand. Watiqarab Esther, Watiga Barosh Hasharbit, and Esther drew near, and she touched the head of the scepter. Wayohmarallah Hamelech, and the king said to her, Mahlaka Esther Hamalka, what is for thee, Esther, the queen? ومهبقى شاتك عد حثي هملكوت وينات لك. And what is thy request? Up to half of the kingdom, and it shall be given thee. وتهمر Esther إما على هملك الطوب يابو هملك وهامان هايوم إلا همشته أتر عاشيتي له. And Esther said, if according to the king it is good, let the king and Haman come this day to the feast which I am effectuating for him. ويهمر هملك, and the king said, Maharu et Haman la'ashot et devarah Esther. Hurry ye Haman to effectuate the word of Esther. Wayavo Hamelech wa Haman el hamishte atar ashata Esther. And the king came, and also Haman, to the feast which Esther had effectuated. ويومر هملك لهستر بمشته هايين مهشهلاتك ويناتن لك ومهفقاشاتك عد حتي هملكوت وتعاش. And the king said to Esther in the feast of the wine, what is thy asking, and it shall be given to thee, and what is thy seeking? Unto half of the kingdom, and it shall be effectuated. وتغن Esther وتهمر شهلاتي وفقاشاتي. And Esther answered, and she said, my asking and my seeking. إما ما تأتي حين بعيني هملك وهما على هملك الطوب لا تت شهلاتي If I have found favor in the eyes of the king, and if according to the king it is good to give my asking, and to effectuate my seeking. Yavo Hamelech Wahaman Elhamishte Atar Eshelahim Wamahar Eshe. Let the king come, and also Haman, to the feast which I will effectuate for them, and tomorrow I will effectuate according to the word of the king. וישב המן ביום ההוא שמח וטוב לב. And Haman went out in that day happy and good of heart. وكره هامان את מרדכי בצער המלך ולא הקם ולא זע ממנו וימה להמן על מרדכי המה. And as he saw Haman, as the seeing of Haman, Mordecai in the gate of the king, and he did not rise, and he didn't tremble from him, and Haman was filled with wrath upon Mordecai. ويتهبق Haman, and Haman restrained himself. ويابوه إلى بيته, and he came to his house. ويشلح ويابه إت أهبايو وإت زرش إش إثتو, and he sent and he brought his friends, the ones loving him, and his wife Zeresh. ويسبر لهم هامان إت كبود عشرو وروب بانايو, and he recounted to them, Haman recounted to them the glory of his riches and the many of his sons. وإت كل أتر جدلو هملك, and all which the king had made him great. وإت أتر نشه على هشاريم وعبد هملك, and how he had lifted him over the princes and the servants of the king. ويهمر هامان أفلوه هبيه أستر هملكا إم هملك هل همشت أتر عاشاتا كي هموتي. And Haman said, even nobody was brought, Esther the queen did not bring with the king to the feast which she had made, except me. And also tomorrow I am called to her with the king. And all this, it is not agreeable to me. أترهني روها إت مردكاي هايهودي يوثب بثغر هملك. So in all the time which I am seeing Mordecai the Jew sitting in the gate of the king. وتهمر له زرش إثتو وكله هبايو. And Zeresh his wife said to him, and all the ones loving him, Yashu esh gavo chamishim hama. Let them make timber high 50 cubits. Uva bokor amor la melech uyitelu et Mordecai alayu. And in the morning say to the king, and they shall hang Mordecai upon it. Uvohe imaham melech Elaham Shamech, and go with the king to the feast rejoicing, happy. Wayit abahadavar lipne Haman wayash ha'esh. And the word was good before Haman, and he effectuated the wood, the timber.